Hello everyone, my name is Xaereth, and today I want to talk about winning in Grand Arena Championships and 5 of the most important aspects to consider when you're trying to win in that game mode. Alright, let's talk for just a second about credibility. I have made Kyber 7 out of 7 times on both my main account in Division 1 and on my alternate account in Divisions 12 through 4, and I'm 6'5", both of which are extremely hard to beat. Alright, that's more than enough bragging on my end. Let's start talking about our first important factor, which is defining what a win even is. Now, maybe this sounds extremely simplistic, but I assure you that it is not. Every single definition of success is going to require different actions from the person who is playing. If you want to make it into Kyber, you need to know what your win record needs to be. Sometimes it's 10-2, sometimes it's 7-5. If you want to make it into top 10, you need to know that you have to full clear every single match, you have to win every single match, and you have to get a pretty high banner score and achieve every single feat. If you don't know what you need to be able to make it to what your goal is, what you determine to be success, then you're not going to be successful. This is also going to influence the team compositions that you take for each individual match. Sometimes you're going to want to go more offense heavy because you want a higher banners count at the end and you want to make sure you're full clearing. If you're just going for straight wins, maybe you go a little defensive heavy and try to trip your opponent up. It's really up to you, but you need to be able to define how success looks in order to make those kind of decisions. The next factor to consider is scouting your opponent, and it's as simple as knowing what your opponent is capable of. Maybe you need to know if they have really strong mods. You need to know if they have Zetas on key characters. You can use Grand Arena history now to check and see what their offensive and defensive tendencies are. If you know that they always place Darth Revan on defense and that their Darth Revan is faster than yours and your Darth Revan is your primary way to counter another Darth Revan, then you need to make some kind of change to your lineup. If you need to take General Skywalker for offense, then do it. Or if you need to find some way to two-shot a Darth Revan team in order to get the win, then you need to do that. But one way or another, scouting your opponent is key to being able to win. Third on the list is staying current with Grand Arena Championships. Team compositions change, new counters are developed, and over time, even if there's not a new squad that's coming out or new characters, there's still a lot of change and movement within Grand Arena, and the way you stay current with that is frankly just watching videos on YouTube, talking about things on Discord, doing things, even, God forbid, visit Reddit sometimes. They don't always have really great content, but there are links sometimes and posts by really great players. There are good players on Reddit, and I do want to stress, watch good players play. I know that there are a lot of good entertainment channels out there, and they are great. I don't have anything against them, but if you want to play competitively, you need to watch competitive players. If you want to become a better basketball player, you're probably not going to go to your 7-year-old's basketball game and try to pick up tips from them. That's just not how it works. You're going to watch good players playing basketball. Same thing applies to Grand Arena. Fourth on the list is fundamentals. Keep in mind that I encourage people to find new counters and to diversify their roster to be able to beat different teams, but a lot of times people forget that Traya does beat Geonosians most of the time, and whereas I encourage people to use other teams to counter Geonosians when they can, knowing the limits of your roster and knowing what you can do is going to be a really important element to your success. If you have Darth Revan and you can counter your opponent's Darth Revan, sometimes it's wiser to just take that course of action instead of trying to get fancy with Padme just so you can use Darth Revan on some like Karth team just to get a couple more banners. It's not necessarily going to get you the most banners, but it's probably going to lead you to the greatest chance of success within that match. Finally, having a versatile roster that can counter the majority of teams efficiently is going to be extremely important. Having a robust collection of mods to equip your characters is much more important than Klesso likes to admit. Remember to do your research on what team counters what and how and what mods they need. And remember also that character GP is way more efficient for your overall matchups and your overall roster than adding relic levels, just because of the GP each of them add when it comes to matchmaking in Grand Arena Championship. I hope that you found this video informative. Please leave a like or a sub or something like that. And remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.